We receive Kayla Popuchet, who is a human rights advocate and activist. Be welcome, Kayla.
Hello, thank you for having me this morning.
So, Kayla, it's always a pleasure to have you here with us in From the South. Now that Trump is finally out of office and from power as President of the United States of America, many world leaders send messages of joy and also relief. But does Latin American nations can do the same?
Absolutely not. When Joe Biden, or now President, or soon to be President Joe Biden, says that America is back, what he means is that America is done looking inward. America is now ready to be the same imperialist beast that it had been under President Obama, under Bush, under Reagan, who we know famously invaded and set coups all throughout Latin America, genocides. This is exactly what President-elect Joe Biden means by America is back. Latin American countries, global South countries, non-Western countries have everything to worry about, whether it be their sovereignty, or for countries like Colombia, which are governed by right-wing US proxies, then those people of those nations ought to continue fighting against US imperialism that is not only profiting, but actually enabling and funding these right-wing regimes that are murdering their very own people. So no, not only just Latin America, but Eastern Europe. In fact, President-elect Joe Biden invited Svetlana Tikhanovskaya, who's the Belarusian version of Juan Guaido, to the inauguration ceremony, which we know that so many Americans, so many US citizens, so many people who paid for the funding of the Capitol for the maintenance can't even get around the circumference of the blocks around the Capitol, but yet Svetlana Tikhanovskaya can come and just waltz right in. These worldwide imperialist comprador leaders have very much every interest in the election of President Joe Biden. So no, this is going to be very dangerous, but still at the end of the day, the US empire is in decline. So as the empire is flailing its little arms trying to do what it can, what it had been, what it only knows in before, the material conditions in this country are collapsing. Joe Biden is going to reestablish neoliberalism. He's not going to meet the demands that need of one, not only just American citizens, but also all the other people that live in this country who are part of the working class, who are dying, who don't have access to medical care. And when if they can get medical care at all, they're burdened by crippling costs and end up going bankrupt. It's going to be quite an interesting time, and the empire is going to flail its little arms, give its last dying breath. But unfortunately, a lot of people will have to pay the consequences, both inside the US and outside.
Just as you are saying, the empire is just restructuring itself and reinforcing itself. So Biden has pledged to reverse several of Trump's most controversial policies. How could this impact Latin American people regarding their human rights?
Well, so one of the policies that President-elect Joe Biden wants to do is to reestablish DACA and, cut against some of the violations that Donald Trump have implemented against immigrant people. And, this is beneficial to people from Latin America that live in the United States to a certain degree. But when we go into the topic of immigration, why do people from Latin America come to the United States in the first place? Why did my family at least, have to come to the United States? It's because of the same US policies that Joe Biden and Donald Trump have for Latin America, which is seek out, invade, coup, exploit whatever we can. And so now Joe Biden says, okay, well, we'll give you a little bit more help when you come over here. We're not going to give you too much help because you're still a poor working class person from the global South, and we need your country's resources to, make our rich afloat. But when you come here, we'll give you a little bit of government status as a little sprinkle. That's nice on top. Personally, I don't think that's a cheap answer. I think imperialism should just stop. I think that the United States should focus on its own country and the working class here, and also the international working class. But that's not exactly what they're going for. So when Joe Biden, his plans to reverse some of Donald Trump's most controversial policies, it's not going to change what fundamentally led to these immigrant crises, led to the homeless crisis. It's not going to change any of that. It's just going to be a nice little Band-Aid on top.
Yes, indeed. Maybe Biden is just perpetuating the eternal cycle of power towards Latin American countries. So thank you, Kayla, for your presence and time hearing from the South.